The fault, dear Brutus.
Lift off. The clock has started.
We believe that all men are created equal.
To the magnificent mosaic that is America.
From radio beacon to radio beacon.
I have a dream today.
Change has come to America.
Let Detroit go bankrupt.
They are wrong.
This is the Randy Rhoads Show. Turn up your mind.
It's BS News for this final day of April and the day before Alan West's favorite commie holiday, 2012. And away we go. Dateline, Lilo, and Stench. At the White House Correspondents' Dinner on Saturday, Rick Santorum was seen taking a picture of Lindsay Lohan wearing a cleavage-bearing outfit. When asked about it, an uncomfortable Santorum refused to answer. Hey, it's not porn if you make it yourself, right? Dateline, that sinking feeling. An Australian billionaire has commissioned a shipyard to build an exact replica of the Titanic. He's the first billionaire to pay for something that's famous for sinking since, well, Sheldon Adelson gave $10 million to Newt Gingrich. Dateline, lend me an ear. Talking to a crowd of college students, Mitt Romney said that young people who want to succeed should borrow money from their parents. When asked what the parents should do if they don't have any money, Mitt said, well, they should probably liquidate some of their offshore accounts. Wouldn't you? Dateline, lipstick on a pig. A Florida hunter said he accidentally shot his girlfriend when he mistook her for a wild hog. Legally, he's off the hook, thanks to Florida's Stand Your Ground hog rule. Omit your gopher.
Hey.
Finally, Dateline Animal House. A group of drunken men in Australia broke into SeaWorld, swam with the dolphins, and kidnapped a penguin. Or as police in Australia call it, a Code 213 in progress. Right away, automatically, you know that happened in Australia. It could have happened at SeaWorld in Florida, but there would have been a gun involved. Happy May Day, Alan. BS News for Monday. Have a great week.
You're fired.
Oh, I can't believe Mitt Romney is this out of touch with American history, recent American history, and that he's going to New York tomorrow on the anniversary of the death of Osama Bin Laden to appear with Rudy Giuliani because he's not going to politicize, nor will he tolerate anybody making politics or making hay out of a successful accomplishment that a president, actually was able to do. And that is to get the intelligence without using torture, to find a courier who led him, after months of following him, to Osama bin Laden in Pakistan. Didn't tell the Pakistanis that we were going in there because they were afraid that if they told the Pakistanis, they would tip off bin Laden. That's how much, our president didn't trust the Pakistanis or the ISI or their intelligence agencies or even, the President Zadori of Pakistan, who replaced Pervez Musharraf. Now, Bush totally trusted Pervez. He told him everything, which is probably how Osama bin Laden was able to hide in that country for 8 freaking years while Bush was ordering our troops into an unrelated country thousands and thousands of miles away, called Iraq. I mean, I cannot believe. And so now, all of a sudden today, it's become, or yesterday on the Sunday shows, it became like the big topic. So, of course, here's Robert Gibbs, the former press secretary for the President of the United States, on Meet the Press, and he's got to sit there and argue with Ed Gillespie, who's the senior advisor. Yes, Ed Gillespie from the Bush years. I mean, Romney has hired every Bush person you could possibly imagine. Every single one of them, except for George W., who could be vice president as far as, we know. But Robert Gibbs is forced to, get into it with Ed Gillespie on Meet the Press, talking about, it's not clear if Mitt Romney had what it takes to get Osama bin Laden.
You're saying President Romney wouldn't take that shot? I don't think it's clear that he would. Again, he criticized Barack Obama a few years ago when Barack Obama said if we have actionable intelligence about a high-value target, and let's be clear, nobody was a more high-value target than Osama bin Laden. David, do you have any doubt that if the mission had gone poorly, as Bill Clinton said, that Mitt Romney wouldn't be out there attacking the president for it? Look, maybe the comments he made a few years ago he admits are wrong, or he's flip-flops on yet another issue. Yeah. All I know is this. The president made a clear, brave decision, empowered the remarkable men and women in our military to go get and kill Osama bin Laden. And look, Joe Biden's right. I sit in Detroit this morning, David, Osama Bin Laden is indeed dead, and GM's not just alive, it's the #1 automaker in the world. And I can assure you that, too, wouldn't have been the case had Mitt Romney been president of the United States.
Let Detroit go bankrupt.
Right. I mean, he's been wrong on everything, this Mitt Romney. I don't know who this Mitt Romney thinks he is, but this Mitt Romney, without, the George Romney and the money that the George Romney made, which is what spawns him to say, hey, if you want to take a risk in business, use your parents' money. It's just amazing. So Ed Gillespie chimes in. First they play him the clip of Biden, who said if you want a bumper sticker for the Obama administration's achievements, then you could say Osama Bin Laden is dead and General Motors is alive.
Thanks to President Obama, Bin Laden is dead and General Motors is alive. You have to ask yourself, had Governor Romney been president, could he have used the same slogan in reverse?
The argument's clear that Governor Romney would not have made killing Osama bin Laden a priority.
You know, David, this is one of the reasons President Obama has become one of the most divisive presidents in American history. Took something that was a unifying event for all Americans, an event that Governor Romney congratulated him and the military and the intelligence analysts in our government for completing the mission in terms of killing Osama bin Laden. And he's managed to turn it into a divisive, partisan, political attack. It's the extra iteration. It's the attack that, Governor Romney wouldn't have done. I can't envision, having served in the White House, any president having been told, we have him, he's here, should we go in, saying, no, we shouldn't.
I'm sorry, but the president you served under said,
in terms of Mr. Bin Laden himself, we'll get him running. We'll smoke him out of his cave.
There's an old poster out west, as I recall, that said, wanted, dead or alive.
So I don't know where he is. I just don't spend that much time on him.
I can't imagine why Ed Gillespie can't remember, recent history. What is it with the American people? Is it drugs? Is it prescription drugs? Is it illicit drugs? What is it that he's doing that wipes out the entire memory of working in a White House with a president who doesn't know where he is and doesn't spend that much time on him?
I'm a commander guy. Yes, sir.
I mean, and as far as political, grandstanding, what was more politically grandstanding than this moment?
Major combat operations in Iraq have ended.
Really? I think after the, celebratory dance, which was held very prematurely, 8 years too early on the USS Abraham Lincoln, which was made to look like it was out at sea somewhere, and it was really, 9 miles off of San Diego, and they turned the ship just so that the sun would be setting on the commander-in-chief when he did his costume change from the flight suit, complete with codpiece. You know what that codpiece was about, right?
American people don't want to vote for a loser.
Right. Got to vote for the guy with the, codpiece. So, they dressed him all up. They flew him in. They put him on an aircraft carrier. They had a mission accomplished banner. Everybody was wearing colored T-shirts, all coordinated, like basic training. They turned the ship so the sun would be setting. I love the photos of the president in Air Force One looking out the window pensively with the Katrina. I mean, everything was a photo op for them. Everything was an opportunity to make politics out of non-accomplishments. Non-accomplishments. This was a real accomplishment, and I don't recall President Barack Obama, dressing up in any costume. I don't recall him being flown into any, helicopter pad or aircraft carrier or submarine or, I just don't, I don't recall. So this was the conversation, and the crazy part is that Mitt Romney, prior to the killing of Osama bin Laden, had said what his stated position on capturing Osama bin Laden was. And his stated position was he would not move heaven and earth to go after one guy.
Just a few years ago, President Obama, then a candidate, said in a speech that if we had actionable intelligence of a high-value target in Pakistan, we'd go in and get that high-value target. Mitt Romney said that was foolish. He wouldn't do such a thing, that he wouldn't move heaven and earth to get Osama bin Laden. Barack Obama, as our commander-in-chief, asked our intelligence community to find him. He was brought actionable intelligence, directed the brave men and women in our military to go in and kill Osama bin Laden, which is exactly what they did under extraordinary circumstances. And Osama bin Laden no longer walks on this planet today because of that brave decision and the brave actions by the men and women in our military. And quite frankly, Mitt Romney said it was a foolish thing to do a few years ago. And look, there's a difference in the roles they would play as commander-in-chief, and I certainly think that's fair game.
It is fair. I don't even understand. You know, Mitt Romney said he would not move heaven and earth. He wouldn't waste billions of dollars on one guy. Although Mitt Romney currently is moving heaven and earth and spending $1 billion trying to catch one person. But that one person is Barack Obama. Maybe he's confused like so many people are. When they say Obama, that meant Osama. I can't get over it. So the president today had to make some comments at the White House about this over-the-top celebration that the Republicans are now tagging him with that isn't really happening.
I hardly think that you've seen any excessive celebration taking place here. I think that the American people rightly remember what we as a country accomplished in bringing to justice somebody who killed over 3,000 of our citizens. And it's a mark of the excellence of our intelligence teams and our military teams, a political process that worked. And I think for us to use that time for some reflection, to give thanks to those who participated, is entirely appropriate, and that's what's been taking place. As far as my personal role and what other folks would do, I just recommend that everybody take a look at people's previous statements in terms of whether they thought it was appropriate to go into Pakistan.
Exactly.
Take out bin Laden.
Right.
I assume that people meant what they said when they said it. That's been at least my practice. I said that I'd go after bin Laden if we had a clear shot at him. And I did. If there are others who have said one thing and now suggest they do something else, then I'd go ahead and let them explain it.
We've always encouraged young people, take a shot, go for it. Take a risk, get the education, borrow money if you have to from your parents, start a business.
These are the choices, and we have to actually wrestle with them? What a country. 19 after.
Digits away from the ride of your life. 866-87-RANDY. This is The Randy Rhoads Show.